Thanks for joining us. In this week's video, we are visiting St. Augustine, Florida. We found a lighthouse, an old fort, beautiful architect, and we heard there is a fountain of youth here. So come along, let's go.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Kenny, Renee. Chio's not with us right now. We're at the St. Augustine Lighthouse Museum. What else is it? Anyways, there's the lighthouse.
I think it shows where the keeper, what is it called? A gatekeeper? Is that what? Lighthouse keeper?
Gatekeeper. Wrong movie.
Wrong.
And so we're gonna go climb the lighthouse now. To kind of see what they got. They got little buildings and stuff here, but
okay. How many steps am I doing?
219 today.
219?
Yeah.
One way.
One way.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So
see you on the top.
Bye.
Bye.
This lighthouse sits 165 feet above sea level, but regardless of its height, the tower is not easy to miss. The black and white spiral tower topped, with a red cap, lays right across from the city's bayfront on Anastasia Island. It has 219 steps, that's equivalent to a 14-story building.
Alright, where you going?
After the lighthouse was automated in 1955, the Coast Guard hired a civilian to tend to the light. They were called a lamplighter. In addition to maintaining the lighthouse, they were also responsible for the 48 channel markers along 40 miles of waterways.
Yeah, really push the button. Oh yeah, there we go now.
It is quite a climb up 219 steps to the observation deck, which is also called the gallery. As you climb, you might notice a few things, like these signs telling you how many more steps to go. And if you look closely, you will find small numbers and letters on the iron staircase. These were for the construction workers to help them put the staircase together. So on to our next stop. We are entering St. Augustine and we are going to take a trolley tour, since we heard it is the best way to see St. Augustine. So let's see if that's true. We are currently on the Bridge of Lions. It gets its name from the two white marble lion statues guarding the bridge on the west side. We do wish we had more time to stay for the sunsets, they say they are beautiful.
So we're in St. Augustine. Decided to do a hop-on, hop-off tram ride through the town. So see if we can see the place a little easier than trying to park the Jeep all the time. Anyways, so we're in this tram here. We'll see where our first stop is. Right? Yep.
See what we see.
So here we are. On a tram.
Mid-October, now in October, folks, it's hurricane season around here. It was believed that the French got caught up in one of them hurricanes because they were found.
We decided on taking the Old Town Trolley. It is a hop-on hop-off trolley tour. They have about 22 different stops that you can hop off and get back on after you have visited. Every seat is the best seat, so no worries about not getting a good seat. They give you a map on the route they take so you can plan before you go.
Folks, there's 70 windows throughout the entire building. The value of those 70 windows, $130 million. Yeah.
So we decided to hop off here at Castillo de San Marcos. This fort was built by the Spanish to defend Florida and the Atlantic trade route. This fort is one of the oldest masonry fort in the U.S. It is a large Spanish stone fortress that they built to protect and defend the Spain's claims in the New World. It is also a national monument, being more than 327 years old, and it is the oldest structure here in St. Augustine.
Spanish fort.
It's a Spanish fort, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we read that construction began on Castillo de San Marco in 1672 and lasted for 23 years until 1695. Even though many other Spanish forts preceded the Castillo, this one is made of coquina and was impenetrable to enemy attack and was also fire resistant.
So this fort, basically it said it saved St. Augustine, is made of coquina stone.
Coquina, that's the name of the...
Yeah, the stone. It's supposed to be harder than stone and rock, and it's pretty cool.
It's a weird looking rock. It's all made out of little seashells. And I would call it smashed coral. I don't know. You see those shells and stuff in it?
So the Castello.
You can visit the Castillo 7 days a week. They are open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is a national park, so it will cost you if you don't have the America the Beautiful pass.
This is the oldest street in St. Augustine. At least that's what I think the guy said on the tour bus. Oh, we get run over by this train.
Well, it is the oldest street, but it is the oldest street in the nation. Avila Street is dating back to the 16th century. The Ponce de Leon Hotel. It is a unique and opulent that the man who built it more than 100 years ago is rumored to still drop by from time to time. This hotel was constructed in 1888 and was viewed by many as the most luxurious hotel in its day. For one thing, it has had electricity since it's opened. And upon entering the dining hall, they said that the first and most obvious feature in the room are the windows. They are a collection of Tiffany-stained glass works in the world. We read that in 2016, the Tiffany glass was reviewed on an episode of the Antiques Roadshow and said to be worth $3.5 million. So after that, they were covered on both sides with bulletproof glass to ensure they would not be ruined by hurricanes or man. So we found the Fountain of Youth. But not what we thought it was. This Fountain of Youth is an archaeological park.
See if I don't mess this up. We're at Fort Matanza, and we have to wait like until 12:30, and we got like an hour to kill. So they have hiking trails here, and so we're gonna do a little hiking trail while we wait our time. And then they have a, what is it, a ferry, a little boat ride. A boat ride goes across the other side to the fort. So anyways,
that's what we're waiting for, to get on the ferry.
To get on the ferry, yeah. So anyways, we're out here doing some hikes. And
yeah.
Anyway, we'll show you the fort when we get over there.
That's right.
All right.
See you there.
Bye. There's the fort.
So just a few miles outside of St. Augustine, you will find Fort Matanzas. Fort Matanzas was built by the Spanish to control Matanzas Inlet, which they considered the backdoor to St. Augustine. Fort Matanzas is named after the Spanish word matanzas, which means slaughters or massacre or river of blood. This fort is made of coquina and sits on Rattlesnake Island. So how did Fort Matanzas get its name? Well, we heard. The first conflict goes back to 1565, almost 175 years before the construction of this fort. When the Spanish forces under Pedro Menéndez de Aviles massacred around 300 French Huguenots at the Matanzas Inlet. This incident is what led to the naming of the river. That's this week's video. And we will see you down the road.